tonight, report on why the Soap Lake School District is putting their levy back on the ballot in April, and the Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce holds its annual banquet. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Moses Lake placed second at the state wrestling tournament. Warden wins back-to-back B titles, and the Chiefs capture the District 6 Girls Basketball Championship. Here's a quick glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, meteorologist Mike Sines here with you. We are still picking up on our radar some light snow. I'm tracking changes on the way, and the full details coming out.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The Soap Lake School District is putting its maintenance and operations levy back on the ballot in April. The Soap Lake School Board of Directors held a special work session to discuss options following the levy's failure to pass on February 9th. The 4-year levy is a replacement for the district's current maintenance and operations levy, which is set to expire next year. About 66% of the 606 Soap Lake voters who cast a ballot voted against it, but the district's 2-year transportation levy was approved by 51% of the voters. Superintendent Dan McDonald said he believed a key reason for its failure to pass was the Grant County Elections Office listed it as a special levy on the ballot rather than a replacement levy. Combined, the levy and state equalization funds the district receives upon its approval by voters constitutes about 20% of Soap Lake's $6.7 million annual budget. The Grant County Animal Outreach held its annual Spaghetti Dinner on Friday night in Moses Lake to raise funds for the animal shelter. Reporter Joe Utter has the story.
Grant County Animal Outreach had its biggest turnout ever for their annual Spaghetti Dinner on Friday night in Moses Lake. About 90 people packed the American Legion building on West Broadway Avenue to learn more about the Animal Outreach Center, bid on a number of items during a silent auction, win raffle prizes, and enjoy a spaghetti dinner. The annual dinner raised about $2,000, which goes towards helping stray and abused animals in Grant County. The Grant County shelter houses between 200 and 400 dogs and cats each month alone. The Spaghetti Dinner is traditionally held in February, which is National Spay and Neuter Awareness Month. People in attendance were able to get more information on the importance of spaying and neutering their pets from guest speakers, including Moses Lake Police Officer Lucky Atkins. Grant County Animal Outreach is always seeking donations of cat and dog food, cleaning supplies, and foster homes. Monetary donations can be made online at grantcountyanimalouttreach.com, and the shelter can be reached at 509-762-9616. The shelter is located at 6725 Randolph Road Northeast. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
Ephrata is moving forward with improvements at the wastewater treatment plant. The City Council approved asking for prices for a bioselector. Engineers suggested adding the roughly $428,000 piece of equipment after the plant had problems with the amount of solids in the liquid portion of the waste. The city's wastewater treatment plant was a pilot project when it was built in the late 1990s. City Administrator Wes Crago said the plant has become a model other cities used when constructing their plants. The plant functions by growing certain microorganisms that destroy harmful bacteria. The solid material settles and is removed, and the water is treated and sent back into the ground. The piece of equipment makes a better environment for growing the organisms necessary to clean the wastewater. A bill allowing people to save livestock from wildfires on state-owned land passed by the House of Representatives. House Bill 2925 requires the State Department of Natural Resources to allow people access to land they're renting from the state to save livestock. The bill was approved by the House with a vote of 97-1. Representative Tom Dent is a sponsor of the bill. The department leases roughly 1.1 million acres of state land to people to either graze livestock or raise crops. Dent said as long as citizens aren't impeding firefighters' efforts to battle a wildfire, they should be allowed to move their livestock out of harm's way. People entering an area threatened by a fire to either move or tend to the livestock would not be allowed to sue the state if they are harmed or killed by the fire. The bill is going to the Senate for further review, and if approved, it would be forwarded to the governor. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be back right after this.
When the cold rolls in, it's time to turn on the heater and cozy up with a book. But turning up the heat can mean higher electric bills. And for some families in tough times, that could mean choosing between a warm meal or a warm house. For decades, people like you have extended a hand to help local families in need pay those winter electric bills. Share the warmth this winter to help keep your neighbor warm by giving a little when you pay your Grant PUD bill.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, this weather segment brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at our weather headlines. We are going to see snow going to be tapering off tonight, clearing for tomorrow, and then also a gradual increase in temperatures. I'll show you that in my extended outlook. Taking a look at our almanac for us here in Ephrata, we have seen nothing in the way of precipitation. We did reach a low of 24 degrees, rather chilly, not compared though to our record low back in 1985 of 13 degrees. The sun set at 5:32. Taking a look right now outside, temperatures have rebounded, 43 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, but we're going to take a little bit of a national tour here. As we head down south, though, that's where they're actually experiencing a low pressure system here, and that means we're going to have moisture that's coming in off of the Gulf. If you have plans to travel down south for any business trips, just make sure to take your umbrella. What's going to happen? This low pressure system going to continue to move on to the east, humidity increasing as well, and as it does so, it's going to bring with it a lot of moisture. Again, chance for a few severe showers and thunderstorms. Taking a look at a more national view, though, we are going to see high pressure dominate areas east of us. So we are going to have snow tapering off, and then high pressure is going to continue to build in, bringing with it for us here locally very nice conditions and a stable weather pattern. Showing you that right here on our Futurecast model as we take this closer in towards us. Light snow around the area going to be tapering off, and we are going to see a clearing pattern giving way to clear skies and sunny skies as well within the next few days, which is really going to be great. You're really going to be able to get out and enjoy this week. A few clouds come in for the later part of the week. Taking a look at my forecast for Tuesday, tomorrow, sunny skies, 53 out towards the Yakima area. Long Beach, 58, a few clouds in the region, mostly cloudy and mostly sunny out towards Tri-Cities, 52. Taking a closer look for us here in Ephrata, 50 with mostly cloudy skies. Moses Lake, 52 degrees, mostly sunny. Again, a mixture of really sun and clouds all throughout the day. We're going to see a stable weather pattern now enter into our forecast. Taking a look at my extended outlook. Look at this, just great. Partly cloudy skies, sunny skies, temperatures going to be gradually increasing as we make our way into Thursday. 55 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Friday, 56, and then temperatures are going to just kind of stay right around the 56 to 57 by the time the weekend rolls around. Mostly cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. It's going to look like a great week in store. Sports is next.
Whether you're looking for a bigger car to support your growing family, A new truck for your business or something to pull that toy of yours, we've got you covered at Barry Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Efrata. Come see us today and learn why your family, friends, and neighbors buy their cars at Barry. On Basin Street for more than 35 years, and with locations in Moses Lake and Wenatchee, we are one great place to buy a car. Call or click 754-2411 or barrysaves.com.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The Tacoma Dome was a hub of activity hosting the 28th Annual Mat Classic Championships over the weekend. Several schools from the Basin represented well at the two-day event. Moses Lake finished runner-up to Lake Stevens in the 4A competition. Here's a look at how the Chiefs performed. 1,200 high school wrestlers from around the state entered the arena at the Tacoma Dome in search of championship hardware and a place in the annals of history. By the end of the first day of competition, half of those hopes were dashed as 600 were bounced to the consolation bracket. Moses Lake brought 9 wrestlers to the 28th Annual Mat Classic. Only 7 were left after day 1 of the event. On the final evening of competition, only 3 Chiefs remained in the hunt for glory. Just one realized his dream. Dylan Morris stands alone, bringing home the Chiefs' lone 4A state title at 182 pounds. Morris battled his way through some stiff competition to face University's Levi Messenger in the championship match. And as expected, with everything on the line, the face-off was determined by the slimmest of margins, with Morris winning it 6-5 to claim his first state title. Newcomer on the stage, Nick Hara, at 120 pounds, was the first Moses Lake wrestler to advance to a championship match. He pinned his first opponent, pulled out an 8-7 decision over Riley Riffey from Curtis in a quarterfinal match, and then dominated Yelm's James Page 11-4 in the semis. But he suffered a gut-wrenching 7-5 overtime loss to Sunnyside's Jacob Mendoza to place second. Hudson Mosseth, in search of back-to-back titles, found himself in a lot of tough matches as his opponents were all looking to knock off a defending champion. The savvy senior fought his way into the semis and then pulled out this last-second win to advance to the 170-pound title match with Michael Solar from Lake Stevens. Solar proved too much for Mosseth, who came out on the short end of the 14-6 decision. Senior Cooper McCullough, looking to improve on a third-place finish at the 2015 Classic, appeared to be well on his way to accomplishing the feat. But he dropped a 2-1 overtime semifinal match to Central Valley's Bridger Beard and was bounced down to the consolation bracket, where he earned a 6-4 decision over Justin Sapila from Tahoma to place 5th at 132 pounds. Hunter Cruz opened the Classic with a win and a loss at 138 on day 1. Day 2 went much better for Cruz, who ran off 2 straight to advance to a third-place matchup with Jake Douglas from Lake Stevens. Cruz came out on the short end of an 8-3 decision to place 4th. Chandler Fluitt got off to a hot start in the 285 weight class with decisions over Mount Vernon's Draven Hodgins and Tahoma's Chase Mulcahy. A 6-4 loss in the semis to Dallas Goodpasture from Evergreen out of Vancouver sent Fluitt to the consolation bracket, where he dropped both of his matches to place 6th. Joel Torres ran into a bit of bad luck in an opening round 8-6 overtime loss to Derek Platt from Yelm, but fought his way back to 3 wins in 5 consolation matches to come away with a 6th place finish. Warden ran away with the 1B/2B title with an astonishing 49.5-point margin of victory over second-place finisher Tonasket. The Cougars finished with a team total 176 points to earn back-to-back state championships. It's the 5th time in the past 8 years the Cougars have been the top cats on the big stage. Look for full coverage of Warden Wrestling tomorrow. The Chiefs picked up back-to-back district wins over the weekend in Moses Lake to advance to the regional tournament at Big Bend College. Moses Lake ran past a tough Wenatchee squad 70-55 in the opening round loser-out game. The Chiefs were on their mark, hitting for 48% from the field. Jesse Louetta set the pace for Moses Lake with 23 points. Jamie Louetta added 20. Abby Rathbun finished with 10. Moses Lake matched up with Sunnyside in the championship game on Saturday and defended its district crown with a 50-32 blowout over the Grizzlies. The Chiefs advanced to a loser-out regional matchup with Chihuahua at Big Bend Community College Friday at 8 p.m. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Our spotlight story tonight is about the Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce annual banquet, which raised thousands of dollars to support local businesses. Reporter Joe Utter was there and has the story.
It was a night of dinner, dancing, and all-around fun for the Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce annual banquet on Friday night. The Chamber is celebrating their 75th year in Moses Lake, and a couple hundred people helped support their efforts at the Denim and Diamonds dinner, auction, and dance at the Pillar Rock Grill, which raised thousands of dollars for the Chamber. Chamber Executive Director Debbie Duran Martinez explains why the fundraiser is so important for the Chamber and what some of the funds are going toward this year.
And we do an auction every year to raise additional funds, so it's not all of our operating expenses aren't on based on a membership due, so it's kind of a non-dues revenue for the Chamber. The Chamber does operate the Visitor Information Center, and that is not funded from lodging tax money. That is funded from our members and these ancillary type fundraising events. So it's a fun night to get out to dance and have a good time. And the money is critical because we couldn't operate and stay open year-round without those additional funds to cover the expenses. And actually, we've kind of earmarked some of the funds from this particular event are going to go to start us down a path of exploring a new building for the Chamber. So we're hoping to figure out where and what and all of that good stuff and get some conceptual drawings done up before we present it to the membership. But that's one of the things that the board is strategically planning is to get a new building for the Chamber, because our current building was built in 1959 and has not had any remodeling done to it. So definitely we are in dire need of a new building. So
the Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce was started in 1941, just 2 years after Moses Lake was incorporated. Duran Martinez talked about how the Chamber has transformed over the 75 years to help support local business.
The Chamber has totally changed over that time because we're constantly changing to be relevant to our members. I think the core principles of we protect our membership, we promote them, and we serve the community always stays the same, but some of the things that happen underneath each of those categories obviously changes as does business and as technology changes. So it's exciting. We still advocate for our business members. We promote them. We have a very dynamic website that gets about 300,000 hits a month.
The annual banquet was made possible by donations from businesses and individuals in Moses Lake. For more information on the Moses Lake Chamber, people can go to www.moseslake.com. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back after this.
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Welcome back. Soap Lake is cracking down on residents who are in violation of the city's property codes. City planner Daryl Piercy presented documentation to the city council saying he's begun contacting property owners and landlords living outside of Soap Lake to inform them they're facing ongoing fines if their property does not meet city codes. Mayor Raymond Gravel said he'd been working with Piercy to bring a proposal to the council which would kick code enforcement into high gear. Piercy said while most residents are in compliance, there are some with excess yard debris, junk, and other items which can be hazardous during a fire. Piercy told the council that if he is unable to reach a resolution with the property owner, he may recommend the city take a legal action to clear out the site and demolish the structure in the interest of public safety. A driver during a 2013 Moses Lake robbery is receiving drug treatment. Mariah Khan, a 21-year-old Moses Lake resident, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to possession with the intent to manufacture or deliver a controlled substance. Prosecutors initially charged Khan with robbery in the first degree and possession of heroin. The charges were dismissed as part of a plea agreement. Judge David Estudio followed the attorney's recommendation and sentenced Khan under a drug offender sentencing alternative. Khan was accused of helping Cruz Vasquez, a 22-year-old Moses Lake man, rob a Moses Lake convenience store on November 11th. She was suspected of driving a Volkswagen Jetta away from the robbery at Junior's Economart. She was caught in a motel room with a large amount of narcotics when Daniel Gasca, a 20-year-old Moses Lake man, was arrested for reportedly taking part in the robberies. The Second Harvest Mobile Food Bank is making a stop in Moses Lake. The Microsoft Data Center Operations is partnering with the Second Harvest of the Inland Northwest to distribute free food distribution from noon to 2 p.m. at North Elementary School on Thursday. Residents in the Moses Lake area needing free food assistance are invited. About 10,000 pounds of produce and packaged foods will be distributed. Microsoft is looking for volunteers to help distribute food. Volunteers are asked to be at the school by 11 a.m. In Northwest news, you can say one Washington couple started their marriage on a high note, as in 35,000 feet high. They said their I do's during an airline flight on Friday. KCPQ's Jamie Tompkins has the story.
Newlyweds Christy and Jim are still on cloud nine after saying I do on Friday.
It's wonderful. We've been together for the better part of 5 years now.
But how they said I do is really making sparks fly on social media.
Tagging me on Facebook strangers and the YouTube videos before we even landed, all the YouTube videos that were up.
The two lovebirds were wed 35,000 feet in the air on an Alaska Airlines flight coming from LA to SeaTac Friday night.
Love is in the air.
Christy is a flight attendant for the airline. She and her new hubby planned the big shebang to grant 3 wishes to her mom, Billy Joe, who's fighting stage 4 cancer.
My mother's the world to me. Anything to make my mom happy.
Billy Joe has always wanted to see where Christy works. She's always wanted to see where Christy lives. And she's always hoped to see Christy marry the man she loves.
She wanted to come up to see where we were at because I was happy up here in Seattle, and she wanted to come see Seattle and see our house here and just have a visual of what our life was like up here, and it really touched me.
A plane full of passengers looked on as Christy made her way down a very different aisle, wearing accessories she designed herself. It's a flight of fancy not to be forgotten anytime soon.
It's just been really overwhelming but really exciting, and I'm glad that we were able to share love and joy with people and really touch people and make their flight a really fun experience.
That's going to do it here for us at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.